part 2 of the 4-part series on creating and launching a product on Etsy. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check that out. These videos are in a particular order, so I think it's important to watch them in that order. If you want to watch the process start to finish in one video, stay tuned for that longer video. But let's get to this part. Let's get to this part of the process, which is about researching your idea. So let's just get into it. So the next step in this product development is to research. And during the validation stage, we do the research. And the first step is SEO research in my brain. And again, we already did that in the validation step. So we already have good keywords, but maybe if you did some basic validation research, like for example, in my case, I did validation research on keywords in Michaels. So I did it within like 20 minutes, just basic. I just wanted to make sure that the idea that I had was valid and it had what I was looking for. And then when I got home, that's when I started doing research on the keywords. So in the validation stage, you can just do a quick, make sure it has low competition, high search volume, good price, go on Etsy, see what's going on, and do a really quick validation. And then in this research stage, you can go in with those keywords and really look for those keywords on E Rank and Everbee and all those things, or other tools that you want to use. But for this stage, just kind of do the same thing that you just did, or basically we just did that research. So I'm going to start recording, and so we're back on my Notion page, and we did our keyword research already, so that's good. And then the next step is researching, going back to Etsy and looking at other Etsy shops and listings for picture ideas, inspo, and pricing. And so on my Notion template, I do have like a POD comparison. So that's just in case a product that I have an idea for can be print on demand. But I'll just continue on. Examples, this is where I would probably add images, but I almost just write them down for like pictures and stuff like that. So this stage is going on, like I said, going on Etsy, looking for inspiration, product picture ideas, and then pricing too. So we'll start out with inspo. And so inspo, so I have the gummy bear resin mold, and so basically it's replicating what a gummy bear looks like, make it into a necklace. And so I can see here that and again, we're looking at these triggers. So this first row is ads, but this one's still a bestseller, so they're selling individual charms. That's a really good idea in case it's almost kind of, what's that called, it brings in, it's a low cost that brings in buyers, so you'll get a lot of sales, but you might not, that's not like the main product that you're there to give, but you can get little charms. Bracelet could be a good idea later. That's a really cool graphic actually for the video, because when we hover over it, they should have videos, so you can see that this one's a really good one. So we're just getting inspo right now first. So silver, these kind of chains, gold, or we can do necklaces like these where it's several on a chain like that, or just a dangled pendant on a beaded chain. So this is kind of the inspo that I'm getting, or with other trinkets. So I'm looking really at the way that they're, like what they're selling. So obviously we're getting the gummy bear necklace, but what type of necklace are they selling? What necklace, like cord, are they selling? What finish? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm just starting out, so I'm just looking for simple stuff, but this is also ideas for later too, and that's another section that I have an ideas list, so I can do like a charm, necklace, chain style. I'll kind of understand what I mean there. That pearl necklace, that's really cute too. That'd be a good version. Or just charms. This individual charms, silver and gold, silk cord, a bracelet, and then duotone bears. So yeah, so I think that's some pretty good inspo. Next, let's go back up to the top and let's look at pictures. So what are some pictures that I should include in my product? So that's actually, I brought it down to the bottom, listing pictures. And ideally I might have like cards on here or like my pictures on there just to look at. But this is what, like Etsy, you have a spot for 10 pictures, and so that's what I'm going to look at and what everybody else is doing. So the main thumbnail picture I'm seeing on the neck, or flat lay on the neck. But let's look at these ones that have the markers. So on a display, flat lay. So it looks like a multi-flat lay almost is a good, is what I'm seeing. So I'll put that down. Multiple flat lay. And then maybe the next one would be wearing. And then on the cards, I've seen a couple of those. So, and I can also rearrange these later, but I'm just getting ideas. So on a backing card. And then let's click into one. So let's click into this one. I'm just gonna go through the pictures and see. So they show all the variations, and then like that one was a very up close one. So and then you can see also they show the different finishes. So yeah, the different finishes are different chains. So the variations. And then holding, that was good. And then options. So yeah, so that's what I do when I'm on Etsy looking at other things. Let's even look at this one, even though it's not the resin type, but it's still a bestseller. So it is good to look at the different bestsellers and what pictures they're including. So they have a video, Oh, size comparison next to a coin. That'd be good. So that's good. And let's look at one more. Forget measure. Let's look at this one. This one has chain length as variations. And that's another part of the inspo, is different chain lengths. So I'm actually going to do that. I add to mine. Ideas. Because that's a question I've been having in my head, like what length for the necklace. It shows the back. Okay, not that much pictures, but it's selling, so they're doing something right. Let's this one, because the other one wasn't so good. Yeah, length and then color. So all the different variations, and if you have different variations, that takes up those pictures. And then size comparison for that picture. So that's really good. So then we have our list of ideas and pictures that we can do. Next, pricing. So this is down in details. I look at the competition, so other people's pricing. So I'll go up one more time, and then I look at the different pricing. So I might just write it down on a sticky note so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth. This is where I do skip the ads, and I'm also skipping the sales price. So if you could see, this is like $30, but it's actually $46 because it's on a sale. So I skip the first row of ads, and then I go down, and sometimes it's going to be challenging because this is $5.99, but I'm wondering, that's probably not. Oh, well, maybe it is. Go to brand necklace. I guess it's $5.99. So $5.99. Very interesting. 45. So 45. $6.99. So I'm just gonna continue doing this. Okay, now I'm gonna put them in here. I'm gonna kind of take out the outliers. So that $45 one doesn't. I'll just put them all in actually. Okay, so I've got a bunch of different prices for the competitors. It just gives me a good look at what my competition is selling them for. This is just part of the pricing strategy. This isn't the actual strategy, but this is just part of the research. And then next, one of my favorite part on the research is the supplies. So I already did some supplies research, but I'm just going to show you how I look for supplies in general while we look at the different dyes. So I want to make sure I'm getting good quality, but also like a good deal to reduce the price of my product, because that's part of the pricing strategy, is to make sure that you cover the cost of making them. So yeah, I'm just looking at dyes right now. I don't want to offer a lot of different options, so I'm wondering if different types of dyes matter. So I'm looking up alcohol ink just in case these are cheaper. So I don't want a lot. Like this could be like a waste of so many. So this one looks pretty good. I'll just write it down here. So a set of 12 of 35 or 0.35 ounces is, let's just say $10. And so I like to do a lot of research, and I like to be very meticulous about this. So basically per bottle, so 10 divided by 12 that's 83 cents per bottle. Yeah, because even if you see this version, that's 83 cents per bottle, but that's a lot, and I don't need that many. Like, this is probably one of my first like resin projects, honestly, so I don't know like if we need more. Maybe later I eventually could get single like ink colors that it's in a bigger bottle, just because I imagine I'll need to buy more, and I might not use all of the colors that I get. So I don't like to waste. So the one that I initially saw had a really good rating or reviews, so I'll probably do that, add that to cart. But I'll just continue. A big part of it is figuring out how much each of the product that you're getting costs, just so that you get the best like bang for your buck. Okay, so now let's go back to resin dye. I want to see if they have any like larger bottles, larger than 0.35 ounce. And let me look up, and this is not a part of research, mica powder versus dye for resin. Okay, and then I might look into mica powder because it gives a shiny appearance, but I'll stick with dye for right now. That one, again, I don't know. So I'll just add that one, and I'll take the other set out. But yeah, that's how I will do research. I have the dyes picked out, I have the resin picked out, I need a drill, and then the screw eye pins, more chain, or the chain that I want to add, and then the resin molds. Let's go back to the gummy bear resin molds. I found the pack of like 2 large ones, but I'm wondering, because it might be beneficial to have several smaller ones. But again, so this pack has 2 pieces, and it has 2 molds, and it's cheap. How much is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 50 and 50. So it has 100 little bear mold. I'll just stick to what I have in my cart, and then if the time comes that I need more, I'll get more, I guess. So yeah, so doing research on supplies. So specifically for this this necklace product, I'm looking at pricing and the different variations. So currently I'm just gonna stick to the ball chain necklace, kind of like the dog tag style, partially because I think that I just like that chain better, and they also come with the locking mechanism, which is really easy, so that's why I chose that a lot. And these are already pre-cut, 24 inches, and I think 24 inches is the longest, so I could just like cut them in general. But a 50 pack for $9.99 is basically 5 cents per necklace chain. And I'll get into organizing it. And so you just look at the different supplies. So I'm pretty sure this is all this. Oh, UV lamp. I needed to stay continuously on. Alright, now I think I am good. So I have the molds, the resin, the dye, I have some small cups, resin pouring cups. I could use some reusable, like small ones. Okay, now I think it's good because some of the other supplies too I can buy at like the Dollar Tree, like mixers or like popsicle sticks to mix them. But okay, so yeah, so I have the molds, the resin, the dye, the supply, the cups to use it, the UV, and then that's for the resin. And then to make it jewelry, I have the drill, the eyelets, and then the necklace chains. I have some D-rings already. And yeah, and like looking at what other supplies that you have. So I think this is good. And so next what we do is we'll add it to my Notion. So cost and price, so supplies. So product, basically, so let's do the mold. And actually, what I'm going to, yeah, so let's just do the mold. And then I have the resin, and then the dye. So, and then we look at total cost. So the mold and resin. And then also take into account taxes, but mold, let's just say that's, and if you're wondering why I'm saying $10.50 and it says $9.99, I'm just adding in what I think tax would be. So it just gives me a realistic idea of how much it actually costs. UV lamp, $6.99, so, or $16.99, so like 18. Cost per item. So now I'm going to, so basically that's what we did for the resin. So if we look at, so it's $10.50 for the item, the full order, divide that by 15, that's 70 cents per item. So I'm just going to continue on, but I'm kind of, it's going to be interesting for certain items. But for the resin, the dyes, that's easy. For the resin, I'm going to do it per ounce, I guess. Okay, and then here's where the difficult part comes into. So basically, it's, I want to know, so cost per item, so for example, because cost per item, so each item that I ordered, and then how much of that is per order, so per like necklace, and then the cost per order, if you get me. So basically the chains is really easy to do that with. So per order we get one, we use one chain per order, which means the cost per order is going to be 0.21, so 21 cents. And so that's where it becomes difficult because for the molds, it's $10 and it has what was it? Yeah, 50 molds per thing, so that's 200, or that's 100, sorry. And so I can make 100 bears, so that means that per order I just need one bear. So then if I basically do $10 divided by 100, that's 1 cent per bear. That's how much that mold costs per bear. But then you also think about it, how many times am I going to use that mold? Because that's a reusable object, so it's actually way less. But let's just do that just because I do want to make sure I put the money that I'm spending back into the process. So what is that? Same thing with the cups too. It's a weird thing, but let's kind of go off of the mold. So making 100 bears, and so we'll do the same thing. It's technically like 11 cents. And it's going to be one, which will be 11 cents. UV lamp, like same thing, so I'm just saying how much it would cost if I were to make 100 bears. The drill, same thing. Even though it actually is way less, I might change these later because I'm going to reuse them over and over, certain ones. Resin and dye. That's the complicated part because I don't know how much resin it takes to fill up each bear. And I don't know, like I used 4 drops of the dye. So that's a complicated. How much is an ounce? How many? Let's go milliliters to ounce. So 29 milliliters is in 1 ounce. That's probably it. So like half an ounce maybe in each gummy bear. So then that's double, so 32. 32 times 2. So 60. I can make 64 bears possibly with this dye. Oh, I already did per ounce, so then half of that, and then 69 divided by 2 is 0.35. Okay. Let's just make something up, I guess. It's 70 cents per bottle. Each of that bottle, so let's just put 0.1. Okay, so then basic rough around the edges way of seeing how much it costs to make the item. And so we add up all of that information and that makes it 127 per item. So cost to make is 1.27. And that is the gummy bear necklace. Shipping cost, it'll probably be the same. I'll probably just shipping one, kind of like my stickers, just in an envelope. So I believe that's like 65 cents. And so if you look at that, so 127 plus 0.65, that's 192. And so this is where we get, so let's just say it's $2. It costs $2. So anything above that would be profit. And then so I just have to make sure I price it above $2. And this is where the rest of those pricing, the competition pricing goes in. And for what this looks like, it honestly looks like $10 could be good. So if I do $10 and it costs $2 a profit, that's $8 a profit, which means it's 80% profit. I did forget, I guess I would put in the cost of the envelope. I had to do all that. So let's add all that stuff because we also have to look at shipping costs. Yeah, it's $208. So it's still like the same profit, but I just want to make sure that I include all the costs of it. So yeah, so it's about, if I list it at $10, I make 80% profit, and I can always increase the price later, but I'm thinking I don't want to be the lowest on there, and it looks like $10 is about where like no one's at that point yet. And then I continue on the notion I can just fill this in item details. So this will help me with setting up the shipping profiles, like when I put it on the card, Shipping information, I kind of already know. This would be if it was like a bigger item. If I was doing like a bubble mailer or a box, that would help me with this. But I already kind of know. I'll probably put it in an envelope. And then this just helps like a profit calculator. Honestly, I already kind of did that. So it does the math for me already. But that's kind of setting up the research, I guess, like setting up the products. And all that stuff. The last part of research is how to make it. So you just want to make sure that you know how to make it, whether that's Googling how to make resin, how long you have to do that, or whatever other product that you have to do, you need to learn how to make it. So YouTube, Google, whatever else. And that's just the basic information for research base. The research and validation steps of the process are probably the most important steps in the process of creating a product. They might not seem important, but they really are. The next part in this series is prototyping and working on the Etsy listing. So let's go check that out.